Hello, guys. Welcome, everybody, to Purple Haze Podcast. I'm your host who bleeds purple and gold, Isaac here. So I kind of wanted to, touch on a different subject, today. I've already exhausted all my topics on, what quarterbacks they should draft and whatnot. I've already done a ton of that, and I don't really want to make it sound boring for you guys, just to talk about the same thing, but we're actually going to go a different route. So, obviously, though, basically what the second need and just defensive tackle is what we really need. A defensive lineman, a big guy in the box to help stop the run, to get after the quarterback too as well, and to do all of this stuff. So I feel like but if the Vikings though are wanting to, so we'll talk about basically, and I've already looked at all the draft prospects that they have for defensive tackle. Just ignore the dogs, by the way. Anyways, so we do have. I found top 5 that actually really stuck out to me, in my opinion. So starting off, with one guy, Jerzon Newton from Illinois. Let's see his stats. 4 years. He's played with Illinois for 4 years. 79 solo tackles, 18 sacks in his career, 5 passes defended, 2 forced fumbles. This dude absolutely can get after the quarterback like no other. And he's had his best year, I believe, in 2023. He's had his best season, I believe, with 7.5 sacks in that day. And so, we need a big guy in that box. And I feel like Jerzon Newton is probably the best defensive tackle available, according to what I saw. So I'm assuming this dude is going to be the top pick, but depending on what team actually wants Jerzon Newton, if the Vikings want to take him at pick 11 and then maybe get Michael Penix or JJ McCarthy at 23, okay, whatever, but I think this dude is an absolute beast. From what I saw from him, he's an absolute beast. Jerzon Newton, he's very good. He's everything of what a defensive tackle needs to be. Byron Murphy II from Texas, 3 years, 33 solo, 8 sacks. So not too bad. Maybe a little bit work on the tackling. 8 sacks is not bad. So his last 2 years has been, from what I saw, his last 2 years has been pretty good, really, as far as production wise. So because he was a rookie, of course, but Byron Murphy Jr., I think Byron Murphy II is solid. I think he could absolutely be a solid defensive tackle for the Minnesota Vikings, if permitted, if that's so. Chris Jenkins from Michigan. For 3 years, he's had 54 solo, 4.5 sacks, 1 fumble recovery, 1 interception. So really not at all that great in as far as sack percentage or anything like that. But I think though it's actually pretty good. It's actually not bad though. So he's an okay defensive tackle that they could pick up. I think this would be a bonus. I think this would be a good consolation prize if the Vikings were to pick him up. But I would maybe consider him maybe one of the later picks, but we'll see if he falls at the Vikings. T'Vondre Sweat from Texas. He's played from 5 years, 46 solo, 5 sacks, a forced fumble, 15 passes defended. So again, much like Chris Jenkins, but 15 passes defended, I think, is actually really solid. So what this tells me is that he's good at passing, as batting the ball at the line of scrimmage and getting his hands up to pass, to break up a pass at the goal line, or at the line of scrimmage. So I think T'Vondre Sweat could be another good one too as well for pass. He's not a linebacker or a safety by any means. He's a defensive tackle, but I mean, but I mean, he can get it if he could get his hands up like that. I mean, it wouldn't be bad, but not my first choice either. Dwayne Carter from Duke. 5 years, he's had 48 solo, 12 sacks, 5 forced fumbles, 11 passes defended. And I feel like based off of these stats alone, I mean, Dwayne Carter, I mean, he might be better than Devondre Sweat. He might be a lot more. I know the pass defended, but 11 pass defended in 5 years is actually not that bad. It's really not bad for defensive tackles. So I feel like, though, I would pick Dwayne Carter over Devondre Sweat if that were the case. I mean, he's had a slow year in his last year in 23. He only got 1 sack, not really that much really productive as far as like stat wise, but I think though he might still be solid, but the question is if he can. I'm not sure if this was based off of like an injury or anything. It is concerning though, as far as like injury wise, if we want him. But we'll see though how it goes I mean though, Dwayne Carter I think could be solid when he's healthy. So I mean those are basically kind of like what I saw. Like I honestly those are kind of like my top 5 like wish list defensive tackles that I would get. Either, I mean, if you wanted to go like in the 11th, I would go with Jerzon Newton. If you want to do in the second, I mean, but if they already picked Jerzon Newton already, and then you would basically, and then I would take a quarterback at that position. I would just go ahead and get the quarterback that they need, and then, I mean, my second option, I would almost be tempted to go with Dwayne Carter, but I mean, I would say Byron Murphy the second. So I would go with Byron Murphy the second if for the 23rd pick. I think that's solid enough, I think. So basically that's what I would go with. So let me know what you guys think. If I missed any players, that I didn't get to see, just let me know in the comments below. Always like that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Skull.